Alright, here we go. This is the 1966 glove box restoration from hell. Yeah, we're going to start out a little bit. The customer brought this thing in. It was glued together. All the rivets were already drilled and ground out. There was no room. Like, look at this one here. I got that one without going through the front to actually grip. The screw grips on that son of a bitch. But the problem with this son of a bitch 66 glove box door, there's already 2 holes in it from somebody messing it up. I got the 2 holes filled. We're going to fill the 3rd one down here. This is the one I made just to see if I could do it. Actually, it was a mistake. I forgot to use my drill stop. So we're going to read the directions. It comes with a kit. Let's go see what it says. Kit includes brushed aluminum faceplate. Okay, here it is, the kit's $55, by the way, without the emblem. The emblem's another $42. So you got the repair kit right here. The repair kit, glove box door 66 to 67. And then here's your directions. My God. Let's go. It says kit includes brushed aluminum plate, blah, 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 and 11 832 times 1/8 socket head screws. And those are these little guys here. They got a little socket tip on them. And I do have the socket tip. I forgot what size it was, but it says in there the socket tip would be a 3/32 Allen wrench. But I got the bit right here, you can see. Put it in my snap-on driver. So you got 11 of these little boys. 11 of those. Then you get the faceplate. This is a 66, 67 faceplate. I believe it has some coating on it for protection. So we're going to read through the instructions. Remove glove box door from car by removing 3 screws to the hinge door. We've done all that. Viewing back of door. Note rivets holding door together. Okay, the rivets already drilled out on this one, but I can probably grab another door. Actually, what they look like is this one here, pretty much like that one with a head on it. This one's been drilled. Yeah, I'll probably show that later on, but we'll get back to the instructions. Okay, we're viewing back of door, no rivets holding door together. So the first thing you want to do, don't grind the rivets off. You want to drill and tap the rivets first. That's the first thing you want to do. It says use a 29 drill bit. Now, what is a 29 drill bit? I don't have a 29 drill bit in my drill bit case. I looked it up online. So a number 29 drill bit is between an 8 and a 9/64, which I think is too big. What I started out was with a 3/32 drill bit first to get all your holes started. This is non-drill press now. It says in here, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but it says use 29 drill bit, drill through center rivet head 7/32 deep. And that would be the thickness of this drill bit here. 7/32 is the thickness of that drill bit, which is a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. It's 2 sizes down from the quarter. So you got 1/4, 15 64ths, and 7/32. Anyway, so back to the instructions. Drill through the center rivet 7/36 deep without disturbing the outer face of the door frame. So what they're meaning is don't drill through it and get a hole like we got here. We got a hole. But don't worry, we're going to show you how to fix that hole if you do mess yours up and don't have a drill press. Even if you have a drill press, you can still go through the drill, right through the door. Back to it. Okay, so it says drill, press, blah, blah, blah. They don't tell you anything else what to do with the door, which is horrible. I'll go through the whole thing myself after I read this. Then it says, then you're supposed to get this plate off, you're supposed to use a 5/16 drill bit, which I don't have in my collection here. It's in a different set. But there'll be rivets holding this on the back side of this. And this guy drilled them out way too far. Looks like he used a 1/2 inch drill bit, and he made the holes too big on this. But you can compare the holes to a brand new one versus what this guy did. This guy just totally butchered this car. They're about almost 3 sizes bigger, the hole, than a new plate. Hope the new plate will fix all the problems that's on this door. But anyways, back to the instructions. Peel the cover off. This is all installation instructions later on. Peel paint, blah, blah, blah. Semi-gloss black paint. It says use a razor blade to clean off the paint. I don't like doing that. What I did on my door, oh, by the way, this had about 8 coats of paint on it. So what we had to do is we had to strip off the paint, wet sand it all down, get all the wet sanding down on it, and that was finally done. And then make sure you tape off. What you want to do is tape off your glove box. On to the next one. Okay, the camera shut off. Okay, we're back. So I was saying tape off all the way around here. This tape kind of came up. I'm gonna have to push that down. But it'll save you. When you scrape the paint, sometimes on the chrome, you can actually scratch the chrome if you miss. So I taped this off all the way around. You want to make sure on the back side it doesn't really overlap much, because you got to paint all this on the back side of the glove box door. And I took off the glove box hangers. It's really, I wouldn't recommend doing it because you weaken the tabs. I got lucky and didn't break the tabs. But for most people, you're gonna have to leave the wire tabs on there, the wire hangers. Those are the glove box hangers. They get in the way. I like doing mine without them on there, but I don't recommend doing it because they're really hard to get off. You have to bend them and they're really, really a bitch. But we do have one on here. So I did all 11 holes already. These are all done. All 11 are tapped out. And the big secret now with this whole installation of the glove box door, if you do not, because this is the tap here, this is the trick they do not tell you in the book. They say use an 8/30 seconds tap. Okay, here's our 8/30 seconds tap. But all these taps, when you get them, they're going to come with a point on them, if you can see in the camera. What I did is I sanded off the point. If you leave the point on, it's going to poke a hole through your glove box. So you want to sand probably the point of the tap halfway through the pitch. It kind of, pitches down like a taper. You want to probably take half that taper down and make it flat. That is the trick to doing these glove box doors without poking a hole through the front with a tap. So I was going through with the tap and it was not going deep enough. It was just like stopping. I was only getting one thread. So I ground this down. Now I can get about 4 turns. And that's plenty to hold your screw in. 4 threads is plenty. I've gotten 1 screw in here with two turns and it's holding on really good. Like on this one here, the guy drilled off, I think there's one of these on here. This one here has hardly any room on it. There was no rivet left and it's got 2 or 3 turns on it, which is great. But what you want to do when you're drilling all these out is leave most of that rivet on there. Your rivet is your depth for your screws. Try to leave most of the rivet on the glove box. Less the rivet, more chances of poking a hole through the other side. You don't want to poke a hole. And this one had 5 coats of paint. I had to wet sand all that down with some 600. I used a sponge, a wet sanding sponge. We have our 2 holes already filled at the top, and I did a test spray on them. They're good. And then we're going to fill this last hole here. I'm going to show you how to do that. Hopefully we can do it right now. And the rest of the stuff you guys already know how to do. Painting, I mean, taping, painting, and scraping. It's all pretty much elementary shit if you're doing Corvettes. So we're going to take this screw, we're going to put it in our hole. I'm going to go a few turns deep, as far as deep as I can go, which is about there. That's plenty. That was 3 turns in and it's tight as a bomb. And I forgot to show you guys, when you're drilling out this plate, this is what you want to do. With no drill press, you want to put a stop on your drill. I forgot to go. So this one I have air compressor fitting, has a hole in it, fits perfect around my drill. And I usually start at a little over 1/8 of an inch. You can measure it, get your calipers out or whatever you want to do. It says 7/64 with the rivet. With no rivet, you don't want to go more than 1/8 inch. Or you're going to go through the front, you're going to poke a hole through the front of the door. So 1/8 inch with no rivet, 7/64 with full rivet. Remember that. And you can just look at the gauge on here. 7/64 is this bit here, which is 2 sizes below 1/4 inch. That's the thickness of the door with a rivet. And without the rivet, it's right around, I'd say 11/64 tops. Probably 5/32 or 11/64 as deep as you can go with no rivet without poking a hole through the front of the door. Just be real careful. I start out with a 3/32 bit. I tried a 5/64 bit as a pilot drill bit, and what happened is the drill bit bent. Now it's wobbly. So that didn't work. But pilot hole, I recommend a 5/32 first. Being if you do drill through the front by mistake, it's easier to fix a small hole than the 1/8" hole, which we have in ours. We had 2 holes through the unit here. There was already 2 holes in it. One was a big 1/8" hole, and the other one was one that I did. And that's it for now. We'll be back. All right, here we go. What we're going to do now is we're going to fill the last hole, which is in here. This is a real micro metal powder we use to fill the hole, and we're going to put some super glue on it when we get done. This is how the other holes will fill. The screw is already in the back. Make sure you got yourself a napkin because the super glue is going to run. And we're using our quick steel fuse super glue cyanoacrylic. So we're going to put a drop on there, hopefully get it good. And then a little more powder. And then a little more glue. And that should do it. Just wipe it. And you'll see there'll be a little bit of a head there. What we're going to do now is we're going to sand that down. We got some 200 sandpaper right here. I'll use this on the other holes. It works great. I like to do it by hand. You could go kind of far with the machine. It doesn't take too much to get it off. This one I put a little bit too much glue. But it's better more than less because the hole, you'll get it done the first time. You'll get it done the first time. You don't want to sand down too far and wear out the grain. All right, the final deal here, assembly. We'll have this all back together in about an hour, hour and a half. You can't see no holes now. The holes are all gone. We got all these pieces of the glove box to put back together. The hinge, back plate, and there's the front. Came out really good.